Well, good morning, everyone. As Cato mentioned, my name is Matthew Wells. This morning I'm just going to do a few selections from military songs of this area. As many of you know, Cato was a stagecoach stop between Fort Scott and Girard back in the day. They had a place over here called the Buckhorn Tavern where everyone would hole up every night and have a good time. Fort Scott, of course, was established as part of the military frontier and a stop on the military highway. And its main job was to transport troops to and from Mexico at that point for the Mexican-American War. It was one of the staging areas for transporting supplies. A couple of the battles that the soldiers were involved in during the 1840s, one was called the Battle of Monterey. This first song is called the Maid of Monterey. The moon was shining brightly upon the battle plain. The gentle breeze fanned lightly the features of the slain. The guns had placed their battle, and the drums in silence lay. When came the señorita, the Maid of Monterey. The guns had hushed their thunder, and in the silence lay. When came the señorita, the Maid of Monterey. She cast a look of anguish upon the dying dead. Her lap she made a pillow of those who groaned and bled. And when the dying soldiers for one bridegroom did pray, he blessed the señorita, the Maid of Monterey. And when the soldiers dying for one bridegroom did pray, he blessed the señorita, the Maid of Monterey. She gave them thirsty water and dressed their bleeding wounds, and gentle prayers she uttered for those who sighed and ruined. And when the bugle sounded just at the break of day, we bless the señorita, the Maid of Monterey. And when the bugle sounded just at the break of day, we bless the señorita, the Maid of Monterey. For though she loved her nation and prayed that it might live, yet for the dying foemen she had a tear to give. And here's to that bright beauty who drove death's pangs away, the meek-eyed señorita, the Maid of Monterey. And here's to that bright beauty who drove death's pangs away, the meek-eyed señorita, the Maid of Monterey. Another battle they were involved in was the Battle of Buena Vista, of renown because at that particular battle, the general who was in charge of the Spanish army had a fake leg, and they surprised him so quickly at that battle that he left his leg, and the soldiers then carried that leg back with them here to America. So they used the tune of a song called The Girl I Left Behind, which is actually a British tune. So I'll do you a little snippet of the British tune and then a couple verses from The Leg I Left Behind. The hour was there, I left the maid, light and fire, talking and high. My tears were quick delayed, had the breaking hearting. Hurried were her words, I blessed, I read the vows behind me, and the heart inspired much. I left the girl I left behind me. At Buena Vista I was sure the Yankees must surrender, and there beneath your hurting core we all were for a bender. At Cerro Gordo my hopes were dashed, and scattered troops remind me, for there I was so soundly thrashed, the leg I left behind me. I dare not turn to view the place, lest Yankees fam would find me, and marching shake before my face the leg I left behind me. But should there my future be, or ere there would resign me, for in a museum I will see the leg I left behind me. And so then we move on to the next phase of this area in military history. Shortly after Bleeding Kansas, of course, we move into the Civil War. There were two songs, one for the South and one for the North, that were instrumental in their mythology as they moved into both these battles. So I'll do both those songs for you. First the Southern song, and then the Union song that was written in reprise to the Southern song. We are a band of brothers with very far in view, fighting for our liberty with treasures that are few. When our rights were trampled, the cry went near and far. Hurrah for the bonny blue flag that bears a single star. Hurrah, hurrah, for Southern rights, hurrah. Hurrah for the bonny blue flag that bears a single star. Hurrah, hurrah, for Southern rights, hurrah. Hurrah for the bonny blue flag that bears a single star. As long as they were faithful, our fellow brethren few, we did not mind just sharing all with all they had to do. But then they came right at us and tried to thread their way, and so we had to stand our ground and make our voices ring. Hurrah, hurrah, for Southern rights, hurrah. Hurrah for the bonny blue flag that bears a single star. Hurrah, hurrah, for Southern rights, hurrah. Hurrah for the bonny blue flag that bears a single star. And then very quickly after that, there was a song that was written by a man named Root, and it became the battle cry of freedom for the entire Union Army. Yes, we'll rally around the flag, boys, we'll rally once again, shouting the battle cry of freedom. We'll rally from the hillside and gather all the plains, shouting the battle cry of freedom. Union forever, hurrah, boys, hurrah. Down with the traitors and up with the star. Well, we'll rally around the flag, boys, we'll rally once again, singing the battle cry of freedom. Well, we're springing to the call for 300,000 more, shouting the battle cry of freedom, and we'll fill the vacant ranks for our brothers gone before, shouting the battle cry of freedom. Union forever, hurrah, boys, hurrah. Down with the traitors and up with the stars. Oh, we'll rally around the flag, yes, we'll rally once again, singing the battle cry of freedom. So we're springing to the call from the east and from the west, shouting the battle cry of freedom, and we'll hurl the rebel crew from the land that we love best, shouting the battle cry of freedom. Union forever, hurrah, boys, hurrah. Down with the traitors and up with the stars. Oh, we'll rally around the flag, yes, we'll rally once again, shouting the battle cry of freedom. Yes, we'll rally around the flag, boys, we'll rally once again, shouting the battle cry of freedom. And then moving along, one night, there was a lady who was in her house, And out on the fields encamped around her house, she heard the Union Army, and they were singing a song that was very popular with amongst the soldiers. And that song went like this. John Brown's body lies a-moldering in the grave. John Brown's body lies a-moldering in the grave. John Brown's body lies a-moldering in the grave, but his truth is marching on. John Brown was a hero, he undaunted, true and brave. Kansas knew his valor when he fought for her rights to save. And now the grass grows green above his dark and barren grave, but his truth is marching on. Well, he captured Harper's Ferry with his 19 minutes of view, and he frightened old Virginia till she trembled through and through. Well, they hung him for a traitor, themselves a traitor's crew, but his truth is marching on. Well, John Brown was John the Baptist, for Christ the world to see, for Christ whom all the bondsmen shall the liberator be. And soon through the sunny South the slaves shall all be free, for his truth is marching on. Well, the conflict that he heralded, he looked from heavenly view, and the army of the Union with its flag red, white, and blue. And the heaven shall ring its anthems o'er the deeds that men will do, for his truth is marching on. Oh, the soldiers of freedom then strike while you strike when may, the death blow of oppression in a better time and way. For the dawn of old John Brown was brightened into day, and his truth is marching on. Glory, glory, hallelujah. Glory, glory, hallelujah. Glory, glory, hallelujah. His truth is marching on. But before the night was through, she had taken her pen to paper, and she wrote a few verses that I'm sure you all know. My eyes have seen the glory of the coming of the Lord. He is trampling out the vintage where the grapes of wrath are stored. He has loosed his faithful lightning and his terrible fist sword. His truth is marching on. I have seen him in the watchfires of 100 circling camps. They have built in him an altar in the evening dews and dance. I can read the righteous sentence by the dim and flaring lamps. His day is marching on. In the beauty of the lilies, Christ was born across the sea, with the glory in his bosom that transfigures you and me. He died to make men holy, let us die to make men free. His God is marching on. Glory, glory, hallelujah. Glory, glory, hallelujah. Glory, glory, hallelujah. While God is marching on.
Thank you for that. Thank you.
Thank you very much. I appreciate it. All right, we'll do a couple more quick ones. This one here is a favorite little marching tune. It's a fife and bugle tune originally, but it comes from a bar drinking song from way back in Ireland.
It's gonna be fun then.
What's that?
It's a bar drinking song, so we're gonna have fun with it.
That's right. That's right. Yes. And I'll teach you the chorus real quick, and then y'all can sing the chorus with me every time we come to it, because like all good bar drinking songs, it's a call and response. I do this song because this song became the marching song of the 7th Cavalry. It's a fun little thing. So the chorus goes, instead of Spall, we'll drink brown ale and bathe on the nail. No man for debt will go to jail for Gary Owen in glory. So when we get there, everybody sing with me. Daddy. Let Monk, his sons, not be dismayed, but join me now, each shovel blade. Come booze and drink and lend some Maid. Help me sing the chorus. Here we go. Instead of spall, we'll drink brown ale and pay the reckoning on the nail. No man for debt will go to jail for Gary Owen in glory. Well, we are the boys of delight, intentions lyric lights and light, and through the streets like sporters fighting and tearing the way before us. Instead of spall, we'll drink brown ale and pay the reckoning on the nail. No man for debt will go to jail for Gary Owen in glory. Well, we'll breach your windows, we'll break your doors, and we'll knock down your watches by threes and fours, and we'll go to the doctors and work the cures, tinkering up our bruises. Instead of spall, we'll drink brown ale and pay the reckoning on the nail. No man for debt will go to jail for Gary Owen in glory. Well, we'll beat your bailiffs out for fun, and we'll rob Jamaica than sheriff's run. We are the boys no man dares to done if he regards a whole skin. Instead of small, we'll drink brown ale and pay the reckoning on the nail. No man for debt will go to jail for Gary Owen in glory. Well, our hearts so stout have won us fame, for soon 'tis known from whence we came. Where'er we go, they dread the name of Gary Owen in glory. Instead of small, we'll drink brown ale and pay the reckoning on the nail. The man for debt will go to jail for Gary Owen in glory. Instead of small, we'll drink brown ale and pay the reckoning on the nail. The man for debt will go to jail for Gary Owen in glory. So famously, of course, General Custer played that song as he rode to his death.
No way.
At the battle, as the Indians called it, the Battle of Greasy Grass, but everyone else called it the Battle of the Real Big One, because for some reason the military liked to name battles after the closest river instead of where the battle actually took place. That's why there's the Battle of Manassas and the Battle of Bull Run, because Manassas actually took place on the farm next to Bull Run. That's what the Southerners called it, and then the Battle of Bull Run is what everyone else called it because it's next to the Bull Run River. Am I correct on that, Carl? Yes, sir. All right. All right. Well, Carl's got a great talk for us this morning, and since we are in a church house, we'll finish up with one last song this morning. We'll do a song from the 1850s, which would have probably been sung in this church at one time or another. And so we did a good bar drinking song. It's good to kind of redeem ourselves. Sing the wondrous love of Jesus, sing His mercy and His grace. In the mansions bright and blessed, He'll prepare for us a place. When we all get to heaven, what a day of rejoicing that will be. When we all see Jesus, we'll sing and shout for victory. While we walk the pilgrim pathways, clouds over sky, no travel days are o'er, no shadow nor a sigh. When we get to heaven, what day will be? We'll all sing rejoicing for the victory. When we all get to heaven, what a day of rejoicing that will be. When we all see Jesus, we'll sing and shout for victory. Let them be truthful and be faithful, true, trusting now and serving every day with what we do. Just glimpsing of His glory, Will the toils be true when we all get there? When we all get to heaven, what a day of rejoicing that will be. When we all see Jesus, we'll sing and shout for victory.
Thanks, Matt.
Yes, ma'am.
I want to brag just a little bit on Matt. I learned something the other day. Matt went to KOM early on Wednesday morning and did a little clip for Cato on the Cato morning, or the KOM morning show. And we were waiting for him to go on. And I learned that Matt is I already knew he was multi-talented. He can do anything you ask him to do. But when he was in high school, he had a football scholarship to go to play at Arkansas, blew out his knee. Then he decided, since he wasn't going to be, did I get that right?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. That he wasn't going to be able to play football, but he could sing. So he decided to join the choir, and he ended up going to Pittsburgh State, and he has a degree in opera. He is a opera singer.
And I won't bore y'all with opera music this morning. Huh? Yeah, that's right. It's very interesting. If you've never been to an opera before, they're absolutely fabulous.